Pac-12 teams in the AP Top 25. The poll is topped by USC. This is the AP poll. USC third in the coaches poll. Alabama and LSU 2 and 3. Oklahoma number 4. The Ducks at number 5. Michigan got a first place vote. Wisconsin will be in Corvallis September 8th. Stanford at 21. Washington just outside the top 25 at 27. And Utah at number 30. Like I said, they are my sleeper team. To say DeAnthony Thomas is a dynamic player, well, that's an understatement. He was the only athlete in the country last season to have 400 or more yards in each rushing, receiving, and kick returning.
Yeah, not bad for a true freshman. Pulled back his verbal commitment to his hometown Trojans to head up I-5 to suit up for those Ducks.
The last time we saw DeAnthony Thomas, the Quack Mamba was striking Wisconsin all over the Rose Bowl.
And exploding into the middle is DeAnthony Thomas.
91-yard blur.
Catch him. Touchdown, Oregon.
And the 64-yarder to prey on those Badgers.
Looking for that sideline, and he's got it again.
You know, I had some pretty great runs in that game, but I don't really be satisfied with that.
That's his second touchdown.
It was a long and slithering road from Pasadena to way back at Cowboy Stadium against LSU in his collegiate debut.
That first game, LSU game, I was just having fun out there, just freestyling, but you know, at halftime, I probably realized like I'm finally playing college football.
2 fumbles in week 1 to just 3 the rest of the way. Seemingly everything Thomas touched turned to gold, or at least it moved the chains or went for 6.
You know, every time I do touch the ball, I either want to get a first down or a touchdown, you know, it's just positive yards.
The All-American kick returner was also the Ducks' second leading receiver, 3rd in rushing. And now with LaMichael James trying to make a name for himself in San Francisco in the NFL, those touches are only going to increase in 2012.
To this team, LaMichael he led by example for this team, and you know, he was a great big brother to me.
Coming from Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles, Thomas was all but set to play for Southern California. But with those sanctions on the Trojans, DeAnthony leaped at the chance to be a Duck.
You just got to win the day every day. Next thing you know, we'll be playing in the national championship.
The men of Troy may have won the first go-around, but like many Duck fans, DeAnthony has November 3rd marked on the schedule against the AP preseason #1 team in the country.
As in high school, I won two championships at the Coliseum, so I mean, it's going to be great. I got the feeling of that field.
As for his relationship with rapper Snoop Dogg, has he converted him to be a Duck fan yet?
I mean, he said he was going to come to one of the games sometime. He'll be a Duck fan someday.
That'd be something to see Snoop Dogg at Autzen. Taking a look at DAT's stats, simply phenomenal. Sharing the Pac-12's Co-Offensive Freshman of the Year honor with SC's Marquise Lee. The all-conference first-team kick returner had 18 scores, 9 through the air, 7 rushing, 2 more in the return game.
2,235 all-purpose yards, nearly 11 yards per carry on the ground. The Heisman hopeful now on the 2012 watch list for the Walter Camp and Maxwell Awards for the Player of the Year. And believe it or not, Thomas told me he got even faster this offseason.
That's what he says.
More explosive.
He's been telling anyone who would listen.
Yeah, right. Part of that, of course, running for Vinland Anna and the Oregon track team out there, listed at 5'9", 176, also trying to beef up a little bit. The day we talked to him, DeAnthony was slurping on what he said was a 1,000-calorie Gatorade smoothie. They got that kind of smoothie bar out there where the Ducks work out, and he says, hey, put this, that, and the other, 1,000 calories. There you go.
Yeah, well, he probably burns it off in just a couple of
that's a good
up
metabolism
and down the field. Exactly. Well, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Ducks. We have touched on it earlier in this show. Duck fans will have plenty of opportunities to watch DeAnthony do what he does at home this season. Oregon's first 4 games at Autzen Stadium, beginning with Arkansas State September 1st. Then Fresno State comes to town, followed by Tennessee Tech. The Pac-12 opener is the next week versus Arizona.
Their first road test, September 29th in Seattle against the Cougars at the Clink. The Huskies come to Eugene the following week. Then a trip to Tempe to take on those new-look Sun Devils. After hosting Colorado, the toughest part of the schedule follows with that trip to L.A. and the Trojans, the only Pac-12 school to beat the Ducks last year. Then they go down to Berkeley, host Stanford, and finally at Civil War on November 24th.
The Beavers hope to avoid a repeat of the 2011 opener when they host Nicholls State on Saturday. Still to come in this ITP preseason special, we'll sit down with Beavers head man Mike Riley as he gets ready for an important season.
I feel real good. I understand the business. I understand all that, but the pressure to succeed is always induced in the immediate time.
Plus, Carson York is a key piece of the Ducks' front-line attack on offense, and he has battled back since disaster struck at the Rose Bowl. Plenty more Ducks, Beavers, and the rest of the Pac-12 online all the time at InsideThePack.com. We are back in 2 minutes.